they have the seminar about Asian diversity.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I keep that clip's going around on TikTok, and I've never actually seen the episode, but now I want to, so I'm rewatching South Park.
Oh, you tear down my CD wall. No, no.
No, not the one that gets me though is apparent. I think it's the same episode because I guess the Japanese guy dies at the end.
Mm.
It's where Kyle's tied to his ass. He's like, "Which one should I eat?
Oh,
Cuttlefish and asparagus? Oh, or banana pesto?"
Cinepad.
Okay.
Cin-
Okay.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, I eat the cuttlefish and asparagus. Oh, so sorry, Kyle.
Here it comes! Oh! We're live, by the
And
way.
it's I figured, but it's like it's the dual clip where it's got the show and Matt. I think it's Matt Stone who's recording those lines. And
Probably.
oh my god.
Like, honestly, like, between the two, don't get me wrong, Kyle and everything's cool, and so is, like, all the other ones that, Matt Stone does, but, Trey Parker, no, Trey Parker, I think that's one you meant. Trey Parker, dude, his voices are the best. Cartman, freaking, does he?
No, it was Matt Stone who was doing those two voices because Trey Parker's the younger. I don't think he's that much younger, but he's like because he plays Kyle too. He does Kyle's voice.
No, that's Matt Stone.
Matt Stone. Oh, okay. So I think I've gotten him confused.
You
Then.
do.
So yeah, Trey Parker.
Matt Stone is the
Which one wears glasses?
Matt Stone.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I am talking about Trey Parker.
Yeah. Have you never seen Basketball?
I have, but I always get the two
Oh, okay.
confused.
I'll say that movie's hilarious.
Oh, basketball.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
I say I've got air conditioner and a fan running. I just wanted to make sure I sound fairly clear.
I can hear you on the YouTube as well.
Good. Okay. What about you?
I can
hear
hear
you.
me too.
Haha. All right.
So what are we? I didn't even see the title. What are we talking
The
about?
Imminent Recession.
Oh, the imminent recession.
This is kind of a vague title because obviously the recession can mean a lot of things. So well, we're talking about everything related to economy, money, all that stuff. So
the social recession.
yes, every bit of it. And the thing is, now even liberals, certain libs, I'm not gonna call them. I don't know what they are now. What would you consider Tim Pool?
Looney lefty. Oh, Tim Pool. Tim Pool is kind of like us, but maybe a little bit more left leaning
Oh, very
on certain things.
He's pretty left leaning when it comes. He's for universal basic income, I believe. I'm pretty sure he is.
I don't know.
Jobs are being phased out left and right, so I hate to say it, like it's going to come to
Well,
the point to where it's going to be like,
I think you will, but I don't think this is in like 5 years. I think you
No.
will eventually see a time period where, because like shows like Star Trek and the Orville, they kind of, at first they touched on it from a utopian sense, but then I think you're going to get to a point where like food and housing become
part of
part of, but not because of it's like altruistic, just because of, I mean, just shit, like just the way it goes. Now that being said, if you're in a universe like Star Trek or the Orville where space travel is a thing, I mean, it becomes less of an issue because a lot of people are going to be off planet, but that's getting into sci-fi realms. But
I don't foresee us being too far off. Not in our lifetime, but maybe my kids, or if you ever decide to have a kid, you know.
well, there can only be one God, so
I know. I'm sitting here. So I've strategically planned out. Now this is nothing to do with our title, but I'm just gonna say this. I have strategically planned out my Halloween costume and thing. I know this is a little down the road, but
a little.
I'm gonna be Soldier Boy from The Boys. I
God.
don't know if I don't think you've seen any of The Boys, and oh my gosh, it's
I
a
have
great
not.
show. Soldier Boy is played by Jensen Ackles, and when I'm a little thinner, we kind of resemble a little bit. Obviously, he's a better looking man than me, but
I don't know.
I,
There's
I,
something.
We've got
You
similar hair right now.
You got the eyes. Gay.
Ha! Gay.
Gay.
But anyway, yeah. So I just I'm gonna try to start working out here soon because I'm starting to feel better. I still feel like absolute dog shit, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm on a lot of medication right now. Well, let's get into this. So the economy sucks, and Biden should be fired.
Well, I mean, I agree with the second part. You know what? And this, I swear, this isn't a transition, but we can go into it. You know, the economy, like, it's not as good as it was, but to say that it sucks is kind of like
just a few aspects.
Let's be well, but yes and no, because let's be real here. If you live in the United States, like, the economy doesn't suck, and it hasn't for a very, very long time. I think you can make the case for it's worse than it was, but and this kind of ties in. Who's the WNBA player who's got arrested in Russia? What's her fucking name?
No, I don't know, but I did see it.
I don't know. Who gives a shit? What
was that? Fuck was that?
That was kind of like in Mario 64 when
I don't know what the fuck that was, man. I like burped and hiccuped at the same time.
Or Belchum.
Took a breath, or I don't know what the fuck. Belchum.
It got caught in there. But so I saw, because I'm an idiot, I follow some left-leaning pages on Facebook because you have to know what the enemy's thinking. There was some post related to her. Something is like, well, if they're going to free her, then they should free all the people who have arrested for marijuana, blah, blah, blah. And I agree with that. But at the same time,
it's like arrested in Russia.
Well, but here's the thing. So somebody somewhere was bitching about her making $200,000 a year and LeBron James making $41 million. And I'm just like,
who brings in more people to watch?
Well, that's beside the point. But let's really look at this. This chick makes $200K a year, and until she got arrested in Russia for being a fucking moron, I'd never heard her name. I don't watch basketball. I know who LeBron James is. So let me get this straight. And apparently this is the girl who refused to stand for national anthem or some shit. I don't know, and now she's asking the U.S. government for help.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The U.S. government is going to do all it can do because at the end of the day, despite its faults, America loves its... Well, America as a nation loves its people.
Yeah.
Stands for freedom. I'm not talking about the government necessarily because they're full of a bunch of crooks and assholes and fucking idiots, but...
You can have faith in your country, but you don't have to have faith in your government.
Well, she sure got faith in the country right now because it's the only thing that's going to save her ass. Well, but secondly, how stupid can you possibly fucking be? Because I'm sure they were told what they could and couldn't bring into Russia.
And she was arrested for marijuana?
Yeah, some sort of like vape pack, but it's marijuana related.
But, the funny thing is, she's in the WNBA. Do they not drug test?
Apparently not. And she's playing overseas.
They drug test all the time for other sports because of what are they?
The roids.
Yeah.
And athletic commissions.
Or what do they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. So it's like, okay, so I guess the WNBA does not... They pay them $200,000 a year. Apparently they can't afford a drug test.
Oh, no, I suspect that if they tested the players, they would not have any players. You said we found evidence of THC and one beaver tranquilizer. God damn it, Bernice!
Sorry. What was that, dodgeball?
Yeah. God damn it, Bernice!
Dude, the laugh that girl did was so funny.
Because it's funny. But anyway, this whole thing got me thinking. And you know what I think is truly the one of the number one things that's wrong with America today is a lack of gratitude
for their country.
for everything.
Yeah.
If you live in the United States, you are in the top 1% of income in the world, and that's including people at the poverty rate in the United States. You make more money than the vast majority of people around the world. Now, granted, I understand it's more expensive here, but the other thing I'm sick of seeing is they're like, oh, well, how can you afford rent here? It's like, well, yeah, if you work a minimum wage job in San Francisco, yeah, you're going to have trouble finding housing. But fucking move. Leave.
Some people are just stupid like that.
Well, some people, no matter what you do, I call them yeah, but people. No matter what you say or what you do to help them, they are not going to change anything because they don't actually want to change the situation. They want it to be given to them. And these are the types of people that are going to vote for the Bernie Sanders and the Elizabeth Warrens and the people who promise them free shit because they don't want to actually do anything.
And it's a lot of misinformed young voters.
Well, but again, so I'm not going to name names, but I know some people of the younger generations, and I see their social feeds, and I'm looking at what they're doing all the time because, of course, they're posting about it. And I'm like, you're bitching about money, but it's Tuesday at 2 p.m. and you're at home watching anime. I'm not dogging on anime. I'm not dogging on anime, but it's Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're bitching about being broke. Shit, I'm not even trying to plug it. Fucking sign up for Hustlers University, DoorDash, do all that shit. You could literally be making money right now. There's tons of stuff you can do.
You don't even have to get a normal job anymore. Like literally, there's apps you can download and literally work for Amazon. You can work for Uber.
It has never been easier, and I love it. So you said Uber and DoorDash. Well, I don't have a car. It's like, okay, join Hustlers University. Do the Amazon virtual assistant shit. I've seen it. The only reason I don't do a lot of that shit is because I work a minimum of 46 hours a week, and I don't have time to do it. But I do Hustlers University, and I've DoorDashed before, but honestly, for me, it's not worth the time investment. But I'm different.
And I mine crypto and trade it.
So. And you mine crypto and trade it. Yeah, exactly. It's never fucking been easier to make money. And that is why I get really frustrated when people are talking about, like, don't get me wrong, we're definitely heading towards a recession. But the fact of the matter is the people that are, I'm not going to say people who don't do this are stupid, but the really smart people are already looking at opportunities and ways to make money.
Yeah, I mean, considering the markets are so low right now, you would be dumb not to at least pick up some. Don't spend any more than you can afford. This is not financial advice. But, I mean, pick up something because it's going to all explode eventually. It may take a year. It may take 2. But the thing is, it's going to happen. I mean, bear markets don't last forever. Everybody's like, oh, no, it's going to last forever. And I'm like,
no, it's not. It never has. It never has. Come on.
Like, do you think these people in charge, they don't have money in stocks and 401ks and they don't want it to go back up? Like, don't get me wrong. I know this all seems like it's, no,
they want it to go low.
They want it to go low so they can get more.
Exactly, so they can go in and buy shit.
Look at Elon Musk with Dogecoin and crypto and whatnot. Anytime he says something, it raises up, and I guarantee you that dude, when it raises up, sells his position, it goes back down, and he buys back in. That's how you make money.
That's how people who are in this make money. They ride the waves. And then here's another thing. This is a perfect opportunity. You're going to laugh at this because I haven't told you this yet. Keep your fucking eyes open. I went yesterday. I'm leaving work. I got some trash in my car. So I go around to the dumpsters to throw it away. And I see, and I shit you not, they're not new, but they look new. 5 brand new with the hubcaps still on them. Tires. Car tires. And I'm like, so I threw those some bitches in the back of my truck.
Dude, why wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying. And you know what's funny is I got really mad at myself for a split second because I was like, I don't know, maybe I won't. And then I'm like, you fucking idiot.
I mean, they're by the trash.
Well, and here's the other thing, and I don't know if this is big or not. So, like, yeah, obviously somebody's not leaving them there. And if they are leaving them there for somebody to pick up, then you're fucking stupid. because everybody knows that if it's by a dumpster, it's fair game.
You got them for free. You could literally
Yeah.
turn around, put them on freaking Facebook Marketplace for $200 for the whole lot, and somebody will pick them up. And boom, what did
Yep.
you just do? You made $200 out of nothing.
I put them I put them in the back of my truck.
You spent a little bit of gas, but you were at work. You were
Not
going
really.
to
I
be
was
driving
already
home
at work.
anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like you spent gas that you were going to use anyway. So technically, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I've
a
got
hustle
zero
everywhere.
investment. Yeah, you just have to look, and a lot of the times you can get shit for free. Like there's some chick on TikTok, and her whole shtick is she goes to dumpsters. But I think she's in California, so it's a little bit different. But she dumpster dives at like Best Buys.
Oh yeah, they throw away all kinds of shit.
Yeah, she gets brand new electronics and flogs that shit online. Like, and I know people who garage sale. And granted, like the only reason I don't do this shit is I don't have the time. But if I find tires dude, I don't understand this because these things look fucking new. And they're for a Jeep, by the way, because the thing says Jeep. So
Right there, you could probably get a couple more than $200 out of them.
that's what I'm thinking. And my first thought was
you said the tires
like,
were for Jeep, and we lost a viewer.
call me, I got him. But no,
Like,
my
going
first
straight
thought
to
was.
Facebook.
My first thought was, honestly, I was like, maybe these fit my truck just on the off chance. Because I don't need new tires yet, but like it's going to happen. Yeah. So they're not the same size, although they probably work.
Right.
But then I saw the Jeep logo and I'm like, huh, some bitch. Now they're different brands, but they all have the Jeep hubcaps. So I don't know where they came from. Somebody obviously was throwing them away.
So weird.
So now I'm just going to be like, every once in a while I'm going to peek by that dumpster and just be like, what's back here?
You know, and speaking of whales and billionaires and millionaires picking up crypto, a Ethereum whale picked up 250 billion Shiba Inu. It was like 2.7 million. And so obviously that, and then on top of that, they're talking about Doge. I can't remember what it was, but something about adding a certain utility that's going to make it like shoot up. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I'm mining Doge, and I get about 300 of them a day. So I'm like, hopefully, you know, I'm holding those bitches, because the thing is, if they get up to 45 cents, like I will currently, what I'm making, it'd be like 100 with the Litecoin added in, it'd be like 150, $160 a day. So, and then on top of that, the stuff that I've already mined will be worth
quite a bit more.
Yeah, and there's a free vacation. There's 2 months of fucking mortgage, you know, shit like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, it's funny, and like, I see all these people bitching about money, and I'm just like, you know, fuck, you can do what I did. Well, now this is, I will admit, depending on where you live, this might be very difficult to do now.
Yeah.
But I was working on buying a duplex for 2.5 fucking years. Like this was the goal. I didn't just wake up one day and decide to move this direction. Like this was the plan. You know, and I got some extra land out of it, which I haven't sold yet. But when I do, you know, it's like, I need to
comes to worse, you don't sell it, and you make enough money, and you put another rental on it.
Right, exactly. There's money to be made, or hell, I might decide I just want to buy a tiny house and park it on the lot. And then when somebody wants to finally buy the land, I'll just move my trailer elsewhere.
You know,
that's what
you could do that easily.
I know I could. But like, it irks me to no end, because like, people just like, they're so locked into the conventional way of thinking. It's just sad. It's like, the secret to building wealth is not getting a 9-to-5 job, guys. Never has
several
been.
Streams of passive income.
Or several streams of income, period. Because, like, let's be real, I think the biggest myth of getting rich, honestly, is the fact that passive income is easy and plentiful. Like, it's out there, but you usually require money up front to get that.
Well, it also takes some time to maintain. You don't just keep passive income, you know, like, you have to maintain it. Either
that, or you have to have a lot of capital built up to where that passive income is sufficient. Because, like, yes, there are people that make a ton of money on dividends from stocks, but they have like millions of dollars owning in that stock.
Yeah, I always see people talking about stocks, and they're like, "Oh yeah, if you really want to do this, you can make a couple thousand a month off of stocks." And I was like,
Yeah, if you spend 12 million.
I was like, people don't have $12 million there, buddy. You know, but no. But getting back to jobs and whatnot, there are several jobs out there that you could get right now with no experience, and literally all it takes is getting a freaking certification from your state. You know,
Yep.
you could inspect homes because I mean, did you not get a home inspector when you got your?
I did.
Exactly. So I got a home inspector for both of my homes that I
let's
bought.
let's be real. Unless you're buying something sight unseen at an auction, get it inspected. I've heard horror stories about people who for some reason didn't get an inspection.
Well, because for one, if you get an inspection, if something is really bad and you don't notice it, the inspector does, you can back out of that sale. And you know, because if you put in an offer on something, you can't back out unless you have a very good reason. And on top of that, you can back out, but it'll cost you a lot of money.
Maybe I was able to back out of one deal and not get any penalties, but we
Did
kind
you lose
of
your earnest money?
no.
But yeah, you get really lucky.
I know I did, and I was ready to lose my earnest money.
I mean, granted, it's only like $1,000, but still,
Oh, mine
$1,000.
mine was 500. So
Oh, you're lucky, dude. I had to put down $3,000, or was it $3,000? Yeah, $3,000 on this house here. I was like, what does it matter? I was I've already got the loan.
You know what? Your realtor's a fucking idiot then.
Oh, dude, she was.
Because it's like, you know what my realtor said when they told me they wanted me to put down like $1,500 earnest money for the house I bought now. He's like, no, he'll take 1,000 and you'll like it. Because 1,000's pretty standard for earnest money.
Yeah.
And like you said, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically just like money you put up in good faith, but you don't give it to the person selling the home. It's held in escrow anyway, and it goes towards your down payment, but they don't actually get it until you close. So it's, I don't know, the whole practice is kind of odd. I think it dates back to when, you know, it was a transaction directly between you and the bank and not like some big mortgage conglomerate where it was like, the bank takes your earnest money is like, yes, we're holding this in good faith that the contract will go through. And unless something bad happens, like a bad inspection or something, this, that, the other, you know, we're holding on to it for safekeeping until the deal goes through. And it just kind of became normalized and normal practice.
Well, so speaking of government, if we do not...
We weren't really talking about the government.
Well, I am now. I'm slowly segueing. Get back on track to the economy and the recession. So if we end up in a negative for this coming quarter, the end of July, I believe, for the GDP, the gross domestic product, it puts us labeled as a recession. So
yes,
we have been negative to what happened to my camera?
Well, just looking at your picture.
That's a handsome man.
I don't know. He looks kind of mad.
What the hell?
Ah!
That's weird.
That is weird.
Anyway, so for the past two quarters, we have been negative. So 3 in a row recession. But it's like, does anything change, or is it just a label?
Well, that was when I really stopped being afraid of the word recession. This was some years ago when I found out what a, like, I wanted to say legal, but like the academic term for recession is. It's just a certain percentage down GDP for 2 consecutive quarters.
What the fuck was that about? Why the hell did my camera shut off?
I don't know. Maybe it's
sorry.
It's siphoning. It's rationing your electricity.
Fucking bastards. Anyway,
gotta be ready for that recession.
So
boy.
yeah. So you used to be afraid of the word recession, and then,
well, because it's always doom and gloom, and it's always like the bottom's gonna fall out and the da 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 da.
Yeah, dude, it gets like, more clicks.
Well, yeah. I mean, big time. And I mean, let's be real. 2008 was scary, but as we get further removed from it, we learn what caused it. It was for a lot of people, but
it only sucked for me because I had to drive far and I had to pay for gas.
Well, what I mean by that, though, because a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people did lose their jobs, and the reason I I don't equate that the same as, say something like the lockdowns, is because that was artificially created. That was the government stopping shit from happening. So
Yeah, and not to mention printing
yeah,
trillions and
that's the other.
trillions of dollars that are literally causing all of these price hikes. I mean, you can blame everything else, but it's the printing of the money that did this. And I don't know. When was the bulk of the money printed? Do you know that?
Within the last, I mean, 40% of the current money in circulation. I've heard that figure.
Past
40% of the
18
money,
months, right?
yeah, in current circulation was printed in the last
So
18
then
months.
technically under Joe Biden.
Technically, although you could, this is where.
Now I'm not saying Trump didn't print any because I mean now I'm not saying
Well,
he printed it, obviously.
the Federal Reserve
Yeah.
printed it, but it happened. This particular thing may have happened under the Biden administration. However, you can make the argument, which is why we're not going to get into it because it's tomato. You can make the argument that what happened under the Trump administration set this in motion, but Biden also
Regardless,
didn't
there are
stop
trillions
it,
of extra dollars in our economy that really fucked us. Everyone thinks that money was good, and it's like, no, that money,
No,
that was
they
bad
created
money.
it out of thin air.
Yeah. So I mean, with all the government spending, they literally could have just stopped funding something and allocated that money.
Well, and I understand it to a point, and I'm not trying to give.
It would have been future monies, Jeff.
Yeah, well, and I'm also not trying to give Trump a pass here, but I will say it was a little bit more understandable under Trump because he was closer to the initial outbreak of the pandemic. By the time Biden got into office, honestly, we really did have a fairly decent grasp of how COVID works and all this, that, and the other, but they were still just fear mongering to get more political support. I still maintain, though, that if the United States had not shut down to the degree that we did,
he would have won.
I'm not even talking about that. I mean, our economy would be in a lot better standing right now because here's the thing. Like we could have brought manufacturing back to America like big fucking time.
Trump was working on that, and he even said that. He said that and said that was his goal.
Right, but then
hate him or love him, who cares?
Well, and Biden didn't give a federal order either. A lot of states shut down. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not blaming Trump or Biden for this. I'm just saying that, like, if we'd been a little bit less scared and a little bit more like, holy shit, and some companies did this. Some companies did see an opportunity, and they're the ones that are growing. It's like we could have brought manufacturing back to the U.S. full force. Instead, a lot of factories got shut down because somebody got the sniffles.
And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, people died, but most of the people who died...
Well, people die of the flu every year, too, and I think that's something that, like, and those deaths aren't trivial, but if you're so mad about it, yell at China. Yell at China.
And, just the hypocrisy of the media and Congress, before China literally said, hey, you calling it the Chinese Wuhan virus, it's a little racist towards us. Until China said that, seriously, every fucking main news media outlet and fucking Congress people were calling it the Wuhan virus. And then
the Wuhan virus.
And then they took their orders directly from China and was like, well, Chinese media, and they're like, oh, this is racist. You can't say that. It's not from China. It's like, you guys were literally saying it a month ago.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Bill Maher who was pointing out how stupid that was. He's like, because the Zika virus racist? The Zika virus comes from the Zika River Delta, I think he said. Is that racist? No, it's because that's where it fucking came from.
Yeah, and
that's why we've been naming diseases after the places that they're from. Is West Nile virus racist?
And on top of that, Tony Fauci, one of his lab cronies, whatever. There was emails back and forth, and there was studies done, and one of the studies literally said, after they studied the virus, they said this came from a lab. Like, they confirmed it, and they was like, this came from a lab. And they're like, yeah, but we don't know which lab. It's like, the only fucking lab in Wuhan where it fucking started.
Well, yeah, and then plus the fact, too, when the initial thought was maybe it originated in this wet food market, and the lab is like
right
there.
across the street. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it came from that bat in the wet market.
No. So even if it did, though, even if that's what I'm saying, even if it did, nobody thought it's like, oh, well, there's a lab there where they're working on a lot of different viruses and blah, 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 blah. Nobody thought, really? Come on.
And that fucking bullshit right there is what directly led to China overtaking us in the world economy.
Well, they haven't yet, thankfully.
They're about to. They're very close. Dude,
I think China.
We get a lot of our shit from them, dude.
Oh, I know. Well, we get a lot less of our shit from them now, thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah, because of the tariffs and whatnot. But also the domestic oil.
You notice that Biden hasn't overturned those tariffs.
Well, no, but him and Xi are best friends.
Well, because everybody knows that it was a good thing, long term. Like when they were even talking about it. Yeah, well, when they were even talking about it, and remember, my industry was directly affected by this. I said it's going to suck immediately, but long term, this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm. See, because the thing is, when you see something, or when you need a change, you don't look at direct results. You look at long-term results. You know, it's
correct.
Like, I mean, yeah, you kind of want to look at both, but the thing is, be like, I'm going to pay a little more for a year, but then after that first year, everything is going to drop in half. Let me see. I'll pay
maybe
more.
Maybe not even in half, but still, like even said, I made the point before this ever happened, and I felt so smart after it did. You know, I predicted. I said, well, why don't like if I were in charge of these companies, I'd be moving all the manufacturing over to Mexico, and a lot of them did. And I'm like, that's great for everybody. It's even great for Americans directly because guess what? You know why there's so much crime in Mexico? Because there are no opportunities to get money other than, you know, the illegal sectors.
I tell you what, you put a shit ton of factories down there, they will fucking work down there, and I guarantee you it would boom and it would fucking it would create.
Dude, it's already happening. They've created towns for some of these factories because they're so big in scale. The one, I'm not going to name the company because A, nobody's probably heard of them, and B, I just don't want to talk about them out of turn in case I get a detail wrong. But I was told this story by a representative of the company. They opened their plant, and the plant wasn't open yet, but they were starting some initial hiring. The first day, they had people wrapped around the entire building. And I think they're paying them down there the equivalent of like $13 an hour, which is like, it's well above.
But down there, like...
$13 an hour plus benefits, which is like, holy shit. Yeah, and imagine that. This does so much because it's cheaper labor than here, which, I mean, that's minimal, but it's about the same. You're probably paying more for labor, definitely, by going to Mexico. But here's the thing: you're saving on shipping costs because they're either bringing it over the border by truck, or a lot of them are actually just bringing it up through the Gulf by boat.
Excuse me.
But then the other thing that does too is, you know, let's say you're an 18-year-old boy in Mexico and you got a choice to make. You can join up with the cartel and you might get paid, but you're getting paid shit compared to what a lot of other people are making. And you run the risk of being arrested. You run the risk of being killed, you know, and then not to mention the risk you're potentially putting your family in. Or you can go work at the factory and you might be making a little bit less money, but you don't have to be looking over your shoulder every day. You show up, do an honest day's work, and I've never, ever met anyone from Mexico who wasn't up to doing an honest day's work.
Hell no, they're harder workers than Americans.
Fuck yeah, they are. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but given that choice, and like I said, you know, you get to go home every night. You can, and like, fuck, by the time you're 18 in Mexico, you probably have like 2-3 kids. I wish that was a joke, but it's... I mean, but you come home at the end of the day. You come home at the end of the day, and you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to worry about the cops. You don't have to worry about getting popped by a rival fucking cartel member. You just go home, go to work, go home, eat dinner, go to sleep, and wake up and do it again the next day. That's the fucking dream.
You know, I want to know how many natural oil reserves are down there, and I don't mean reserves. I'm talking like, you know, like pockets of
like untapped wells.
Yeah, I guarantee there's a ton in Mexico.
I don't know.
I guarantee it, dude. You know,
I don't
because
know, it depends.
Everyone thinks that oil is created by dead dinosaurs, and...
Well, it's created by dead plants and animals.
Yes, but it's not just dinosaurs. Everyone thinks, because they call it fossil fuels, You know,
Actually,
that's actually a coin term. It's not actually true.
Actually, the vast majority of oil that we're drilling is actually from dead trees from, what is it, 250 million years ago?
Well,
That's the vast
the thing
majority.
is, they say it's non-renewable, and to a point, that's true.
It's
But
not renewable in the sense of how fast we're extracting it versus how long it takes to make.
yeah, but there are pockets here and there, specifically one in the United States that they could draw from, and according to oil experts, this one pocket could literally last us 200 to 400 years
Is that
at
the
our current our
place?
expenditure. It's in
Is that the place in Alaska?
I don't think it's in Alaska. I believe it's like I'm not gonna say Utah, that area,
Maybe.
that area. But the thing is, they're saying that one pocket, and there are pockets all over the United States, you know,
Well, and there's
and
pockets we don't know about yet too.
yeah, like there's tons of oil. But at the same time, I'm like, we could be drilling that, saving our gas, and on top of that, with the booming economy, and I hate to say it, you know, they're pulling in tons of taxes. What can they do with that tax money instead of wasting it and spending it on this and that? They could be researching renewable
Pakistani gender
energy.
studies. Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, and let's be real. You know, there are already oil companies that are they're researching that, but make it worth their while. You know, like you're already giving them tax breaks. Put a caveat attached to it.
supposedly, three of the big main oil companies, they are working diligently on that. And you know, you want to know something? I think we talked about this. Um, I'm pretty sure you and I talked about this at 4th of July. Um, was talking about all of these skyrise buildings in New York and here and there, and even all those factories. If they just put solar panels on top of all of them, that's a lot of space, and those things are out in the sun 24/7. They would be nothing but energy collectors. You know, you
Well,
don't
and
have to
they
build no fields for it. You put them on top of buildings that are already there and give the people a fucking huge tax break. I mean, I know they are, but I'm talking like a big one, because the thing is, if we really want to go towards solar, that's what's going to have to happen.
Well, and then
But
another thing you can do, and they might be doing this, I'm not sure, but another thing you can do is, you know, like these, particularly residential construction companies. I don't know how you would do this, whether it's in the form of tax credits or just it'll happen eventually, just as the technology becomes cheaper and more available. But like new constructed homes, like it's a lot easier to integrate solar in a house that's being built as opposed to a house that's already built. Same thing with like geothermal pumps. I know a lot of new construction put in geothermal as
yep,
part of the
it
HVAC
is
system. Like,
hard to retrofit, but when you're building
oh,
new,
it's
easy.
fucking terrible. But well, when it's new, it's already there. You
Yep.
just fucking lay the pipes. Like it's nothing. I
Yeah.
always said if I build a house, it will have at least geothermal and solar built in. If not, find some way to have a small windmill somehow, some way. I don't know.
On
I
top
mean,
of
but
that, you know,
well, right. But
water
here's
and
the thing, and we're
sewage.
thinking, yeah, and we're thinking about this all wrong because I think a lot of people want green energy on a grand scale, but I personally think the secret to integrating that is you do it on like a per house per building basis, because like I can have solar panels on my house and a windmill on my house that will power my house.
But listen, what about this? How about you do research for both oil and electric. You make everything as cheap as possible. I'm talking both. And you let the people decide for themselves. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, what is somebody going to choose? What's more efficient? And the thing is, like, think about this in terms of VCR, DVD, and Blu-ray onto digital. What happened? Do
The
we
people
all
went with
use
the best option.
VCRs anymore? I do.
No, because well, yeah, but that's because you're using antiquated technology
Well, the
to
thing is,
watch
no,
awesomeness.
I've got old TVs and
Yeah, I
and
know.
VCRs, and older games look better on them, and I'm only doing it for nostalgia factor. It's not because I'm trying to go out and buy the latest greatest movie and watch it on here. No, I'm watching
Right.
that on my fucking 4K TV in my living room or my fucking 8K monitor right in front of me. Anyway, my point is, people are always going to go with the bigger and better, more efficient product. So therefore, if electric stuff gets, I'm saying electric stuff, you know, in general, but if it, you know, if it gets more cheap, if it gets cheaper and easier accessible. I can't speak today. My goddamn, my goddamn.
My God, damn.
Anyway, so easier accessible, people are going to go with what's cheaper. So
Well, right, but again, that goes because that ties into where do you live too? Because if you live, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like if you live in,
LA.
well, I'll use this example. Like if you live in London, solar is probably not the best option for you.
No, because it's really cloudy and rainy all the fucking time.
Now, so my dream, like this is the dream.
But I guarantee it's windy.
Yeah, precisely. So I could see somewhere like the UK investing more in wind
or
than solar.
hydroelectricity.
This is my dream. I want to have a house on some land. The house will have integrated solar. I'd like to have a windmill incorporated if possible, but I would love to be next to a flowing body of water that I can rig up a hydroelectric pump to. And you want to talk about energy conservation? Holy shit, they'd be paying me for the power I'd be generating.
3 of them: solar, wind, and hydroelectricity. Boom.
And my ass is still hooked up to the grid because just in case it's in the dead of winter and it's cloudy as fuck and there's no wind, like you've got to integrate although we could solve all this with nuclear.
Yeah, but nuclear's kind of scary. I know it's come a long way, but nuclear's kind of scary to me.
I think that, honestly, I think the bulk of that is, I mean, really, really think about this. How many nuclear reactor disasters can you think of?
Chernobyl.
Okay, so there's one, and that's from the 70s.
And
in the Soviet Union.
Fukushima?
Well, yeah, but that's because the dumb fucks decided not to turn it off because they couldn't, because they waited too long.
Wasn't that just a leak, though? Or was that an actual meltdown?
It became a meltdown because they didn't turn the fucking thing off because they thought, oh, we'll just pump some seawater into it and then pump it back out in the ocean. Yeah, did you not watch your fucking monster movies?
But the thing is, though, about nuclear, though, like, those rods, like, if the nuclear plant shuts down, like, those rods stay fucking radioactive for thousands of years afterwards. And I know they're contained, but, what happens if they get breached? They kill the ground and everything around them. I'm not against nuclear. They scare me.
If they get breached, I think. Well, that's the problem. I think it's been presented as scary because like everybody uses Chernobyl as the example, but again, that was in the 70s in the USSR.
Movies and shit like that, they scare people. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going straight to the movie Chernobyl. Have you seen that?
I mean, I think a long time ago.
It's fucking creepy. There's like fucking like people with crazy things inside of the radioactive zones and whatnot, and they're they can live there. Yeah. Anyway, I hate movies. I love movies, but I hate them because they make you afraid of normal life.
Yeah, but I think, but the frustrating part of that is now a lot of people are afraid of nuclear, and they don't really need to be.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just making it sound.
I mean, I get it because I catch myself too. It's like, well, it's like, yeah, but what if, But I mean, at the same time, what if a electric plant a coal burning plant catches on fire and causes an explosion that takes out a couple houses,
and then on top of that, something catches on fire and then the coal mine is on fire for hundreds of years and that town is rendered unlivable.
Or Exxon Valdez.
And I'm not against coal at all, because I mean, it is what it is.
The Gulf one, what was that, Blue Water Horizon?
I don't know.
The oil spill. I said Exxon Valdez, but I meant the
there's been some horrible oil spills.
Oh, right, and some of them are apparently some of them are still going. Like they had another one. It wasn't the Gulf one. There was another one that apparently is still leaking.
Scoop that shit up and turn it into some gas. Let's go.
I know, right?
I mean, gas it got down to 417 near me, and it was 520, like not even 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, okay, so you guys are bringing down the prices a little bit. So yeah, we got excited, and I was like, I'm getting excited for $4.17 a gallon. I was like, I shouldn't be getting excited for that. I was like, I should still be pissed.
Well, I mean, like, again, it's bad, but it could be worse, because as every Democrat was pointing out, it's like, well, gas is $8 in Europe. It's like, well, this ain't fucking Europe, is it? We got Texas, goddammit.
And on top of that, that this is actually where I was getting into earlier, but our strategic oil reserves, they tapped into that. This isn't even wartime. We could just be drilling, and they could be offering these contracts.
Yeah.
And
I
so
loved it. I watched I watched a video where Biden was talking about how during the campaign in
1
20.
million barrels per day, dude. They're releasing 180 million barrels over 6 months. So a million a day, 180 days. 6 months. Anyway, so and funny thing is, you know what the really funny part is? We're selling quite a few of those barrels to China. Why are we selling fucking oil to China?
You want to keep China from invading Taiwan? Stop giving them fucking oil.
Does China
now?
Do they have their own oil, or do they get it from elsewhere?
I'm sure they do.
But they probably don't, for all the fucking billions of people over there. I guarantee they don't have enough to, and that's why they have to buy.
Well, and the dirty little.
And they're still buying from Russia. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say I don't know if this is true or not, but I think even with what oil China is buying, I'm willing to bet money that they still have fairly regular blackouts in some places.
Oh, I guarantee, dude. I mean, see how their people live in little boxes, and literally like. And then some of the smallest apartments are literally just a fucking bed with a TV on the wall, and it's like a fucking hinge door to a fucking SUV. Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Well, and then case in point, you remember the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, right?
I never watched that one.
Oh well, they moved to China, right? And then there's this thing attached to their shower. You have to flip a switch. And then I can't remember if it was 15 or 30 minutes, you have hot water.
Oh, yeah. I know about that.
Yeah, fuck you. I live in America. I want hot water now, goddammit.
Oh, I thought you only had 15 minutes of hot water, but you have to wait 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, you have to wait because it's got to warm it up.
Yeah, and then it's like 2 to 3 minutes of hot water.
Yeah, fuck that noise. No, I live in a civilized country.
Hey, I'm paying for natural gas, and that shit's going up. Like, my bill was $30 2 months ago, and now it's $45, and I'm using the same amount. That's a big increase.
Yeah, and then at the same time, if you paid for that in electric, it'd probably be, what, 60 to 80? Even though the electric company's probably burning natural gas to generate the electricity.
Yeah, well, apparently there was a big... I want to say I don't think it was a nuclear. I think it was an energy place, but they tore it down and they built 4 giant windmills, and apparently it's producing quite a bit of megawatts. But the funny thing is, everyone's like talking how green windmills are, and they do eventually ROI, and by ROI, carbon effect. But they cost a fuck ton of carbon to build them, and it takes a long time for that carbon to dissipate. For how much it takes to build those things and transport them. One fucking wing of those bitches takes
a semi-trailer, and it's an extra long semi-trailer.
Huge.
And then you have, because it's such a big load, you have the 2 escort vehicles in the front and the back. I remember seeing that the first time I saw one of those. I was like, that's when it clicked. I'm like, well, that's fucking dumb.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you are bringing something in that ultimately could lower emissions eventually, but
and typically
those things can also catch on fire because they have motors in them. And actually, we were talking about this at the 4th of July party. They have motors in them when there's not enough wind.
And what powers that?
Electricity. But the thing is, though, if they have giant batteries stored in the bottom of those to catch electricity to power them when set is out, but the thing is, though, still doesn't, and those things catch on fire frequently.
Yep.
Everything is within the realm of it's going to fuck up eventually.
If we could discover how to create nuclear fusion, that's pretty well the perfect. But even then, because a star is nuclear fusion.
Okay, I was going to ask if I couldn't remember if the sun was nuclear fission or nuclear fusion.
No,
we already know how to do nuclear fission.
Is nuclear fission.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's where it leads to, albeit small amounts, but it does lead to waste product. Whereas stars are like I say a constant cycle until something fucks up the homeostasis of the star.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think I'm probably wrong on this, but the Hadron Collider they were working on, or maybe it was some scientific community, they were very close to nuclear fusion.
Oh yeah, they're working on it, and I think the Hadron Collider they're doing a lot of experiments with. But I think at one point they were trying to.
Well, the Large Hadron Collider, they just started it back up, and the last time they ran it
Good.
was in 2013.
Good. I'm all for it.
Yeah, get us out of this fucking reality we're in. It sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Create another black hole.
They did. They created a very small one.
I know they did, and that fucked with me on such a.
Because I'm like, you are creating the fucking universe's most dangerous thing on our planet, and if it takes off and fucking pulls a goddamn Doc Octopus, I've got it.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Oh my god, dude.
Speaking of black holes, have you watched The Orville yet?
No, I keep forgetting.
Dude, season 3 is.
What did you say it's on? Is it on?
It's on Hulu.
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 Right. I have Hulu. I need to watch it.
And keep in mind, I loved this show from the first episode, but season 3
Fantastic.
is on a whole nother. It's on a whole new level, man. And I'm telling you right now, if viewer, talking to you, if you're a fan of Star Trek, like especially like original Star Trek or classic Star Trek, not the new stuff, which I haven't watched yet, but I've heard it's like watch The Orville. It's what Star Trek people want the new Star Trek to be.
Are they rebooting Star Trek?
Oh yeah, they had Star Trek Discovery going for a couple seasons, and now they're starting Star Trek. I think it's Brave New World. Yeah, Brave New Worlds.
Oh. Which
is following Captain Pike, which is immediately before Kirk. So, Strange New Worlds or Brave? No, I think it's Strange New Worlds.
So it's prequel before the original.
Well, so was Discovery, and so was Enterprise.
Enterprise was before it?
Oh yeah, Enterprise was okay. So you had the original series, and then after that, chronologically, was Next Generation, and then Deep Space Nine and Voyager were after, kind of at the same time as TNG and DS9. But then they did Enterprise, which went way back, before
they did
the
not
series.
name those accordingly.
I know, right? Well,
Next Generation.
Well, that was after.
That actually makes sense.
That was after the original series. But Enterprise was the first warp-capable ship before even the Federation existed. It was just Starfleet on Earth. And then, I hope I'm not forgetting one.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain.
Yeah, but then I think they went straight into Discovery, which it's a prequel of the original, but it's a sequel to Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's going into Strange New Worlds, not Brave New Worlds. I keep getting it confused with the fucking book, which is right there. But Strange New Worlds happens immediately before the original series. And the Orville, like this last episode, holy shit. That was a good one.
Fantastic.
That was good. It was fantastic. And then the episode before that was really good. And the episode before that was really good.
So's the boys.
I know, I need to. I'm watching.
I know you as a superhero fan. I think you'll really like it.
I know, I probably will.
Because it reminds me of if superheroes really existed, it would either be Brightburn or The Boys.
Probably. At least today.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know, man. This tape content is taking up a lot of time, which actually I'm saying that kind of as a joke because it takes virtually no time at all. It takes virtually no time at all, actually. And actually, for the first time in a long time, but not counting our stuff, I'm having fun editing.
What are you working on currently? What was the first thing you did with the tape programs?
I started a TikTok, and then I have a YouTube channel.
No, I mean, were you doing?
Oh, in Hustlers University. Okay, so I'll give you the whole skinny because, and this might, if anyone out there decides to join or just wants to know more about it, seriously, you can feel free to message me on Instagram. I don't care. I'll tell you all about it, and I have nothing to hide. So when I first started, I was trying to. My thing was, I wanted to start making money immediately. So I joined the copywriting campus, but I found out very quickly that didn't really go with me. So then I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll join crypto because I wanted to build up money before I started crypto. And then I learned a lot in the crypto campus, but one of the things I learned was if I wanted to really make money, I didn't have enough capital to really do that. Like I could, and I still am kind of making money here and there, just doing basic trades.
Like $5,000 to use would make you around $200 to $300 per week.
Pretty much, if you pay attention to the lessons and follow the strategies, and then you get trading signals too when you join. But yeah, you probably want to have about $5,000 to start out with that you're okay with losing. Then you can probably make money. But I had a few $100, so I put that on the back burner for now. I still do some of the modules, and I'm still in the chat. So if I see something that looks really appetizing as a signal, I'll jump on it. But again, even when I win, I don't win big. I just win a little bit. So then I just looked at all the options, and a lot of them are investing options. Like they've got stocks and NFTs, and I don't think they have a dedicated Forex campus. I think that's just part of their DeFi. But I was looking at some of the other stuff, and then they have drop shipping, but they say flat out, like, in order to really succeed at this, you probably need about $10,000 to start. So I'm like, well, shit, that's out. So then I saw affiliate marketing, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. We're already kind of doing that with or at least we're trying, like, that's something we're trying to do. So I'm like, well, shit, man, I'll join this, and maybe I'll start making some money and also learn how to make our content better, which I am doing, because if you follow our TikTok, RT Media on TikTok, you've noticed a change in how those videos are presented. And it seems to be having a positive effect, because the views are staying about the same, but we're getting more likes on average. So I think it's just making it a little bit more engaging. But then they set you, I'm not going to give too much away because you fuckers got to pay, but they set you up to succeed in the affiliate marketing, but you do have to do some work. And that's what I'm noticing a lot. I'm noticing a lot in the chat rooms on there. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, how's my shit? And everybody's like, you're not even reading the fucking lessons. Stop being fucking lazy. Like, you're not even reading. Like, you're making obvious mistakes that you're warned against in like the first lesson or two. And you can tell, because I look at some of the other people's stuff, and you can tell they're just being lazy, not putting any effort into it. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. The winners will win and the losers will lose.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of waiting on the. I shouldn't wait, but on the crypto part of that, because until I've got $5,000 built up that I'm willing to lose, which I'm not close to. I'm probably about $3,000 off, so I've got $2,000. But until I get to that point, you know, it's kind of like a little sketchy.
Yeah, and that's fine, because I was going to ask you off air, because I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that you had joined yet.
But I was thinking about the copywriting. But the thing is, the copywriting, man, you have to reach out to people, and you got to be persuasive. Now, don't get me wrong. If you get to the point to where you can really start being persuasive, you can build some contacts. But it's not easy.
No, and that's the thing. So the first question a lot of people ask about. Well, and that's the question I probably get asked the most about Hustlers University is it a scam? It's like, listen, first of all, like, yeah, I'm trying to sell you on it, but at the same time, I'm in it. So, like, if it's a scam, why am I trying to sell you on it? Like, really? Because I pay every month too. But the reason copywriting didn't work for me is because it's interesting. And don't get me wrong, like, I took some of the lessons and applied it to my business. And that's the other thing is, like, even though you may not making money directly by something in Hustlers University, you could very well make money indirectly, because I've taken some of the copywriting lessons, used them in my business, and I've seen results. And it's just good shit to know.
Well, and on top of that, it's not easy for you because you're very busy throughout the week.
That's so what I'm saying.
To
really succeed in the copywriting part, as far as making money directly with that, you need to have at least a few hours a day. And by a few,
my kids go back to school, I don't have time to do shit.
Right, and that's fine, because, like, I'll be honest, part of the affiliate marketing too, they've changed some things, so now I need to create a landing page, because right now, if you click, like, full disclosure, people, if you want more information on Hustlers University, message me. I'll tell you everything you want to know, because if you click the link in the description, it goes right to the sign up page. They used to have like a cool intro video and all this information, and now it's just, so I'm working on that. But as of right now, it's just the payment page. So if you want more information, you can Google it, or you can just, like, seriously, reach out to me directly. I'll tell you everything you want to know. But I'm not going to give away free information, because I got to pay for it. So you do too, motherfucker. But I'll tell you, man, when you have your money and you follow those crypto signals, man, because there are guys, I say guys, like, I'm sure there's a girl in there somewhere, but it's mostly guys in the crypto school for sure. Like, people are posting wins daily. And like, yeah, sure, some are small, but some are big.
And that's the thing. Until I can pay attention to the market completely, like I could do it at night. But the thing is, most of the big dips and wins and whatnot happen during the day.
Right, right.
Just because they whether or not people want to believe it or not, but crypto falls in line with stocks.
Well, yeah, because it's at the end of the day, it's a
Those
market.
investors are investing in those stocks and crypto at the same time, and they work on all of it.
And the big investors drive the market,
Yep.
like everything. Like, you can win for sure, but
It's like Bitcoin drives the crypto market wholeheartedly. If Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up.
Everything's tied to Bitcoin, whether you like it or not. There's very few that trend against Bitcoin. There's very, very few. But if you know what those are, and you learn what those are in Hustlers University, you can be right in both ways at the same time.
And Bitcoin, I believe, has already seen its bottom.
I agree.
It got down to $15,000 or $16,000.
Yeah, I think that's the bottom. Now, again, I think you're going to see, before you get to like a high shoot up.
We're not going to get to know $100,000 in the next 6 months, but I think we could easily get back to 32,000.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So,
well, and then that's just it. So a lot of people look at crypto incorrectly too, and I was one of these people. A lot of people think you're going to invest in this like shit coin for pennies, and then it's going to, and like, again, I know this happens, but by the time something's available on a major exchange, it's already too late.
Those days are over, simply just because there are too many coins out there. The market is flooded. Now, the thing is, you can still make some really good returns on certain coins. Maybe Shiba Inu, maybe Dogecoin, possibly even Bitcoin. Because the thing is, if you have enough money to put into it, you can make a return. You take that return, you put it into something else, and you just keep growing your wealth.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. So just because, like, let's say you got out during the bull market, you sold for 60 some odd thousand, whatever. Okay, so you took your profit. Well, I'm thinking of some numbers in my head. So if you had, let's say you had one Bitcoin and you sold it for 60,000. So you can take your 60K, and again, this is assuming this is all play investing money. You can take half that and buy in at 30. So you've got your 30 profit still there, and then you wait for it to trend up to 40. You just made another 10 grand. You've lost nothing, but you have to play it right. Now, the
nobody knows when it's going to go up or down, but the thing is, if you pay attention to Washington, if you pay attention to the our economy and see certain factors like they're printing tons of money, people should have already been like, shit's gonna go down.
And then the other thing too, when it comes to Hustlers University, like their lessons, you learn these indicators, and again, and they're the first ones to say they're not always true, but they're true most of the time. Like, these are things that you can fairly accurately predict based on certain indicators. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people who look at crypto incorrectly, they're waiting for that extra 1%. You've already doubled your money if you bought in at the right time. Fucking leave. Like, okay, so like you bought in at 30, it gets to 60, and then you sell at 60, and then the next day it goes up to 61. Who gives a shit? You've made 30 grand. As opposed to the people who were waiting for 65 or 67, and then it went 40, 30, 20.
That's like me spending $24,000 on a machine that is now worth 17.
Now, does that one mine Bitcoin?
No, it just mines Litecoin and Dogecoin, or several other different ones. It mines script out.
Yeah, but that's not really fair though, because it's still mining. It's like, yes, the worth of the machine, but that's just because the crypto market is down.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, I could have got 3 of them for the price that I paid. Now the thing is, my electric bill would suffer, but the thing is, I would still make enough money to pay for it and have leftover income.
Yeah, well, and then the other virtue that they ironically preach, and this really set right with me, is like patience. It's like, yeah, you're not necessarily going to make money overnight. Again, it happens. You're not necessarily going to make money overnight, but wealthy people don't make money overnight. These are assets that cumulatively pay off. It's like, One of the crypto professors was talking about a trade that he made that took 6 months, but he made like $100,000.
Yeah, but
But
he
again,
put a lot into it.
you sit on it.
Yeah.
Knowing like, and again, there are people who trade or day traders, and they'll make trades might last only a few minutes and they'll make money, but other trades last a couple days or a couple weeks
Well,
or a
those
month.
day traders have hundreds of thousands of dollars of income. Well, not income, but they have $100,000 to work with to make that money. So the thing is, that's how they make $2,000 a day. And once you get to that point, yeah, that's the best thing to do is be a day trader. But people think, like, I don't know how many times people have messaged me like, I'm thinking about getting into day trading. I'm like, well, do you have?
You're not ready.
I'm like, do you have?
You're not there.
$25,000? And they're like, well, no. I was like, then you can't day trade. I was like,
HU recommends 50. That they recommend
50?
They recommend 50.
Exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, in order to get certain accounts on certain programs or things, you have to have a minimum of $25,000 in your profile in your portfolio.
Yep.
You know,
and then they even
I think.
Yeah. Well, and they even teach you how to short crypto, which I'm not even going to pretend like I understood that shit.
Fuck that.
I know, and they even say they're like, this is very volatile. We don't recommend it, but it can be done.
Yeah, but imagine shorting crypto at the same time, buying a fuck ton, and then it go back up.
Well, but crypto goes down. Even in bull markets, crypto shoots down. We know this. We've seen it.
Like, no regulation on that bitch at all. It's like,
I'm not. That's too rich for my blood. I'd be iffy shorting stocks, man. And
oh, shorting stocks is terrifying because it's a gamble.
Oh, I know.
If you lose, and you pay.
You lose big.
That's why most of the people hedge funds, you know, they have billions of dollars to spend, and you know, but when they win, they win.
It's fucking play money for them though, because like you said, when they win, they win.
Can you imagine? That's fuck you money.
Yeah, I'd love to have me some fuck you money. I'll even take just a little bit of fuck you money, you know, and it kills me because I am one of the things that I try not to be overt about it because I don't want to sound like I'm a fanatical like follower, but I do talk about Andrew Tate and Hustlers University a lot because I've seen the results. But the thing that I always come back to is like, and you can think what you want about his personal views, but when it comes to money, it's like, okay, are you really gonna, I'll use Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's a better example. If Warren Buffett gives you stock advice, are you gonna not listen to Warren Buffett?
Yeah, you'd be dumb.
Like, another example, if Mark Cuban tells you something about owning a sports team, are you not going to listen to Mark Cuban?
I tell you what, you'd be stupid not to follow Nancy Pelosi's fucking
and Nancy
stocks.
Pelosi gives you a stock tip. Are you not going to follow Nancy? I'll tell you what.
I mean, they've got all the insider information they need. You know, they can say they don't, but it's like, then how'd you get rich, Nancy?
Well, but then at the same time, you know, like if
they're called lobbyists.
Well, but there are other people, but this is the first one that pops in my mind because I was trying to buy his book yesterday, and I went to 3 different Barnes & Noble, and they were all out. So you know what? Fuck you, Barnes & Noble, because you really didn't think Tim Kennedy's book was going to sell out. The place in Carmel said they only ordered 3 copies, and I looked at them and said, are you fucking stupid? Like, what the shit? Of course you're going to sell out. But anyway, like if Tim Kennedy gives you a tip about shooting or fighting or exercising or anything, because is there anything that fucker can't do? But like, are you really not going to listen to Tim Kennedy if he gives you a tip about shooting? Someone who's actually killed people with a gun? Like, really? Because I don't know about you, but if Tim Kennedy gives me advice on how to shoot something, I'm going to listen. Because I guarantee you he knows better than me. If Hoist Gracie gives you a jiu-jitsu tip, are you not going to listen to him?
I'm gonna listen.
Like, that's a whole new level of arrogance that I just like, oh, really? You know better? Okay. Then why don't you fight him and see how long you last?
No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. My favorite, though, is like, because again, I'm not a huge fan of the Gracies like a lot of other people are, but I love it when people are like, oh, well, he got beat by so-and-so, and I'm like, okay, you're not so-and-so, asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even close.
It's like so-and-so would fuck you up.
As I love it, they're like,
Easily.
well, I was like, well, Brock Lesnar got beat by Cain Velasquez. It's like, okay, are you going to fight Brock Lesnar?
Fuck
Really?
no. He's a goddamn giant.
Brock Lesnar's going to use you for a condom to fuck the other guy. I stole that bit from Joe Rogan.
I don't care. That's amazing.
I mean, like, really. So it's like, yes, if Andrew Tate, who is worth, I think the current estimate is about $30 million, gives me advice on how to make money, I'm not going to ignore it.
I'm really liking the podcast that he does with all those women, and he like sets them straight. I don't know if he does it or he just is a guest on there.
He's a guest on that one. Now
he sets them straight all the time, and I'm like,
well, that's just it. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to talk shit, but this is what
it's a bunch of bimbos too.
Well, for a while I was into Fresh and see. Here's the thing: is Tate, when he's not on that show, will be the first to admit he's like, yeah, but they're a bunch of hoes. You know, but that's the Fresh and Fit podcast, which, I mean, it's entertaining as hell. I will admit that. The hosts are they've both been exposed as being pretty decently big frauds, but I do enjoy Andrew Tate being on there because he can say the exact same thing that those two dorks say, but when he says it, like, you can tell he like, it's said with more conviction than because like it's
believable.
Yeah, it's believable because, like, when he says something, I believe he's actually done it. When those two dorks say it, it sounds like they're regurgitating, and they've both been pretty well proven that they are. So when Andrew Tate's on there, I do enjoy it, but not so much.
Did you see? Have you ever watched the reality show Andrew Tate was on?
I've seen bits of it. He was on a couple. He was on Big Brother and then some traveling show back when he was in his 20s.
Well, he was on that one where basically they voted people off. And he was. I only watched one clip, but it was on Tate's Clips, and I was like, "Damn, man, it was young Tate." I was like, I thought the dude was young, and then I saw that, and I was like,
30. I think he's 36 now.
Oh,
no, that was back when he was in his 20s. But yeah, and have you watched any more Tate Confidential?
Here and there.
Oh god, that's so fucking entertaining. Tristan cracks me the fuck up from the first episode. When he just walks out the window, Germany is a failed society. They crack me up, dude.
They drink warm beer, for God's sakes.
There's this one bit where they're all sitting around the table in their emergency meeting room, and I love it how they just fuck with each other. It makes me miss the younger days when we would just sit there and cut each other up. That's what it reminds me of. But anyway, Tristan buys this online course for $500 about hydration. But here's the thing. It's all fuck you money. I love it. He's like, and everybody's like, what does the lesson say? He's like, I'm not going to tell you because I bought the fucking course. If you want to know how to achieve elite level hydration, you buy the fucking course. And then Andrew buys the course and he's like, now I know the secret. And then I think it's their cousin Luke, and I think Rory's their cousin. But anyway, they're sitting there like, you're not going to tell me the secret. And they're like, no, if you want the secret, you buy the fucking course. Pay your $500 and give this man what he deserves.
It's like, drink water.
This goes on for like 8 minutes. And then Tristan's like, okay, I'm going to show you the secret to elite level hydration. He walks outside and just jumps into the pool. And I'm fully aware that women will not get how funny that is, but it reminded me of us just sitting around and just tearing each other.
Well, I can't do that nowadays, Jake. People get offended and they get mad at me.
Well, maybe if they had better hydration, they would be.
Well, they better spend $500 on the course because I ain't telling them.
Oh, I fucking loved it too because in one of the more recent episodes of Take Confidential, they brought it back. Oh, I remember what they were doing. They were in the hotel room and they were like, "Who can drink the most water?" You know, and they're going through. It's like, "Well, we did take the course, so we know this.
Too much water can kill you." You have to drink an obscene amount, but I mean, drinking too much milk can kill you.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna get sick before you OD on water.
Well, it's not that. It thins out.
I know
the blood really quickly or something.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure you'll get physically ill before you drink.
Yeah, you physically won't be able to drink any more water.
Because I know after I forget where I was, but I was well. That's just it too. Like you're gonna pee eventually, but like I just drank a shit ton of water and then I felt like water. Like I didn't feel good. I felt waterlogged. Like I felt like buoyant. So I was just like, eh.
I feel that way now. Ugh.
But yeah, so long story short, it's never been easier to make money, people. And those of you that are not lazy can do very well in any economy. You just have to.
Let me reiterate what you said. It's never been easier to make money, but the thing is, it's not easy to make a lot of money.
Well, I like I agree with you.
Quickly.
Well, and yeah,
There's
okay.
no
At the
get
same
rich
time,
quick schemes. You have to work.
no.
You
Yeah,
have to
that's just
work
it.
at
You have to
something.
work,
You have to work
and
towards something.
I think that's the dirty little secret that everybody knows deep down, but nobody wants to admit is like, listen, unless you're just born into wealth, you're gonna have to work. Now, the difference is, and what I've kind of come to realize is, do you want all that work to go towards somebody else or to you? Because I'm telling you what, I'm re-examining my life looking, and we didn't have these opportunities when we were 18, 19 years old.
No, fuck no,
Holy
dude. We
shit,
went and
if we
got
did.
jobs.
Holy shit, though, if we did, like,
Oh
I'll
my
tell you right now, I
gosh.
wouldn't have gone to college. If I'd had Hustlers University and crypto and that kind of stuff when I was fucking 18, I wouldn't have fucking gone to college. I still would have had a job.
Dude, if I would have known about crypto in 2009, I mean, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Well, we would be. We'd just be having it on our fucking yacht somewhere.
I mean, because the thing is, like, man, I mean, I've always had kind of a somewhat investor's mindset, but I never truly took initiative. It took me a while. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted with life, you know. Sometimes it takes people until they're 30.
Well, and then that's the other kind of thing that is frustrating me personally because now I'm seeing it, and it's like sometimes people are one or the other. Either like it's too late and they've wasted everything, or like God, I don't remember where I was. But like this 22-year-old guy, like he was spouting some nonsense. I'm like, motherfucker, you're 22. You got all the time in the fucking world. But start now.
Right.
But like by the time you're 40, fuck. If you do ever, well, shit, even 40, you'll be doing pretty well for yourself in a few years if you're really industrious and you just don't fall into the pitfalls. Like, yeah, your buddies want to go out and get hammered. Fuck them. You stay home. You fucking work.
Even if you have to work a 9 to 5 and say you're making $50K a year, but like, you know, like after taxes you're bringing home $38,000, and then after all your expenses and you're left with, so let's say $15,000 a year to run with. I'm like, if you do bare bones minimum for 5 years and then put that money into a Roth IRA and then invest that money into certain what is it? I can't remember. You can actually invest into the stock market with your Roth IRA, and it's tax free.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
and then that's your retirement. But even in the immediate, you know, like fucking, I hate to say it this way, because it's sexist as hell, but it's the world we live in. Like, if you're a decent looking girl, you don't even have to get trashy with it, but you can make money. You don't have to get naked. Like, I'm being serious. There's a girl on TikTok who has a wrestling podcast that I'm pretty sure started after mine, and she's well above where we're at. Well above. You know why? Because she has boobs. It's a sad fact of life.
She doesn't have to get naked. She can just get in the G-string and just show a little bit of butt cheek.
Clothed. She doesn't even do that, dude. It's literally because she's a girl. She's an attractive girl.
That's like these girl gamers.
Yes,
and a lot of them,
exactly.
A lot of them are getting called out though because they're using cheats, and I love it.
Okay, it does. Okay, they're still making money. Who gives a shit?
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying I play Warzone. Fuck these bitches.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
When they beam me down out of the fucking sky, and there's no way in hell.
Don't blame them. Blame all those simp fuckers that find out they're cheating and still give them money.
Yeah.
There's chicks selling their fucking farts in jars, man.
And
I wish I was kidding. Well, underwear's obvious, and then. What's that one chick, Belle Delphine or whatever the fuck her name is, selling bath water?
Oh, there you go.
Like, what the shit, guys? Men, do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Like, why are you gonna pay for bathwater? Are you really that desperate?
Yes, they are.
I ain't paying for
When it's
shit. I
really,
mean, I'll pay for a lap dance, but that's about it.
dude, I don't even pay for a fucking lap dance.
I mean, I haven't paid for one since I was like 21, so.
I've gotten free ones from the stripper before, so.
Fuck you. I technically got a free one. Because I went to buy my buddy a lap dance for his birthday. His 21st birthday, mind you. And the stripper literally walked me back and said, no, I want to give you one. I was like, okay.
All right.
I was like,
well, and you know what's funny is there's probably somebody somewhere in the comments who's like, "Oh, he's fucking lying," and it's like, no,
I don't really care if you think I'm lying or not.
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh,
it's like, okay, yeah, you fucking wish I was lying. That would make you feel really good about it, but I'm not.
Fucking bitches.
Well, no, and it's like I like this sounds so bad, but like if our podcast, if we had tits, we'd already be like, like tits that people wanted to see. He's gonna get barred for nudity because men can be women after all.
I do not identify.
Yeah, okay, so how would that work? Like, let's say I'm a biological female, but I identify as a man. Can I flash on YouTube now? Oh, I can't? Oh.
Sexist YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Here's the only difference. I'm actually sexist, but I admit it. I admit it. I'm sexist as fuck. It's fucking true. Because, yeah, I'll be the first to admit it. I tell girls that I talk to, like, I'm sexist as shit.
You're an
asshole.
Don't care. You hold doors open for women, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And I make sure that I walk on closest to the street as well if we're out in public.
You're such a freaking pig.
I know. And I also, what else do I do that's really fucking sexist?
Make sure they get off first.
I mean, that just happens, bro.
This is just the way it is.
It just happens, bro.
That's just the way it is.
No, what I do I agree that the woman who may eventually become my wife and perhaps the bearer of my children shouldn't have to work a job if she doesn't want to. If she wants to stay home and take care of the children, that it's incumbent upon me to support that household and not be dependent upon her income.
I let my wife do that for years until she decided she wanted to go back. It was her
But that's
decision.
the difference. Like, I'm not saying she can't work. I'm not like the Taliban over here, but I don't think she should have to.
I liked it better when she was home constantly.
I'm not lying. I think I would prefer that, particularly if we had children. Like if I don't have kids, it's gives a shit. But like if children are involved, I definitely think that that's ideal, at least for me. But again, I'm not gonna chain her to the wall or anything. I'm like, unless she wants to. But eventually she's gonna be let out. Let out, Jesus. She's gonna be released.
Oh my gosh, dude! After that joke, I'm whatever you want to call that. No, after that, all I can hear is fucking Andrew, not Tate. Andrew. What's that comedian's name? Have you
Schultz?
seen? Yeah, dude, how he laughs after his survey. Dude, he's
that
fucking
guy.
Hilarious. After his jokes,
Johnny on the spot.
He does that shit. Like after you said that, I'll let her out eventually. I just heard his laugh.
He's good. I like him. He
is good, but he's also he's very left leaning, and he tries to play it off. But the thing is, I've watched some of his like vlogs, and the way he talked and this and that. And I was like, well, I don't hate him by any means. Like it's your opinion.
Maybe a little misguided, but
yeah, on certain things.
Well, and then here's the other thing that I've kind of discerned over the past couple of years, again, because I've been on the dating market since I was freed and became a bachelor of sorts. Now I'm a bachelor. There's no of sorts about it.
He was signed to a team, and then he was let go. Now he's on the roster.
I'm a free agent.
He's off the roster. He's free agent.
Yeah. The one thing that I've noticed, and this is true for men too, but I've noticed it with women, is a lot of people will give their opinions in public, but in private, they have a whole other set of beliefs. And it's literally just like, well, yeah, this is what I believe, but like I can't say it. And I'm like, fuck you, I'll say it. Like, I think most women, if they were being honest with themselves, if they were really being, and this is why it's scary. And there's men too. I'm not trying to dog on women here, but this is just the example that I came up with. And there are a lot of women out there who literally, they don't think they believe this because they've been conditioned not to. But like, let's be real. I think if most women really thought about it and were of the appropriate age to start thinking about having children, right? I think most women would at least admit that they'd be happy to at least have the possibility of being with a guy who could support the entire household and they not have to work. Not saying they can't work, but they don't have to, like, if you're in that situation, you don't have to worry about it.
Giving them the option.
Giving them the option. That's the key word, the option. If she wants to work, fine, who cares? But really, do you really, if you're in a situation where you've got a man who's making like serious money and he's paying all the bills and this, that, and the other, do you really think any of her money is going towards him on a regular basis? No.
She's buying her shit.
She's buying her shit. It's all extra.
Or she could be buying the groceries or something. Who knows?
Well, but even then, it's like, so I still maintain my last girlfriend I had, my last long-term relationship, best relationship I ever had. And I chalk this up, the main reason up to the fact that I paid all the fucking bills. She paid for her car, but that was before I even met her. So, but like mortgage, me, because it was my fucking house. Groceries, me. Like she'd pay for a meal every now and again, but like internet, electric, I didn't have gas at the time, but like all the utilities, all that shit, something broke in the house, anything, me. We never talked about money, ever.
And you didn't get in a fight about money.
Ever. We didn't really get into a fight about much of anything until the end, when there were just personal belief differences that caused that. But like, and that's when I thought I'll never again be in a position where I'm codependent on someone financially.
Well, see, that's we have a somewhat similar structure. I take care of all the bills except her car payment and credit card. But if I get into a bind and I need money, I just ask for it.
There's a conversation to be had there for sure.
But
and like I said, it's like
rare.
Well, and like she would occasionally buy some groceries. Like it wasn't like never, but like for the most part, we never had to worry about anything.
Well, that's how it was when she had a job, and then now we have the shop, and save all that money.
But you get what I'm saying, and I'll be perfectly honest. Like, not saying she wouldn't be happy to contribute to a household, but you can't tell me she wasn't happy about that. Like, really?
Actually, she was okay for the first year.
I'm talking about my ex-girlfriend, not.
Oh yeah, exactly. She's got a free place to live.
Oh, and then she paid for the occasional streaming service that she wanted because I had all the big ones already.
Well, I mean, regardless, dude, fucking, oh god, what's $8?
Oh god, $7.
Whoa.
Oh my god,
All right,
I think we've attacked the money. This was a good one, though. We talked a lot about money.
I need to throw up.
All right, well, I'll lead us out real quick. Thank you for enjoying another episode of the Average Intelligent Podcast. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to make some money, sign up for Hustlers University. Link is in the description. Like I said, any questions, message me on Instagram. It's not private. You can find me. It's right down there in the description. In the description, because it sounds fancier when you say it with a French accent. And if you would rather listen to the podcast as opposed to watching it, because if you don't like looking at studs, then you can check us out on the audio platforms: Anchor, Radio Now, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Spotify's a fancy one.
I like Spotify.
Amazon and Audible for all the hoity-toity fucks out there. It's like, I have an e-reader. I have an e-reader that I keep in one of my 2 vehicles. You can check us out on there as well. And if you need to take the edge off, OMG CBD. Took one of these bad boys last night, slept like a fucking log.
935 2nd Street. I'm sorry. 935 2nd Street, Columbus, Indiana. And on top of that, check us out on Facebook. It's literally just OMG CBD. And the thing is, just message the company, and message on there, and then literally we will get back with you, and anything you want to order, we can ship for flat fee.
Message on that, and someone who may or may not be John Lennon will help you imagine.
That's the best part of that movie. Actually, it's not. That whole movie's good.
The whole movie's great. That's Dewey Cox, for those of you who don't get the reference, but it's non-habit forming.
You don't want no part of this shit, Dewey.
Well, I don't want to get addicted. It's non-habit forming.
Well, I'm not gonna not want to have sex on it. It makes sex even better.
Forgot about that one. No sinking safe with Dewey Cox in the building.
You done with your outro?
Yes.
All right. All right, people.
We will see you next week, fuckers.